We should probably limit the D&D talk on
Yeah.
this episode because we're live right now.
We're on?
Indeed.
Okay. Hey, welcome to this week's edition of Mead, Metal, and MMA.
Episode 11, I think.
Is that where we're at?
Yeah, dude.
I'm Kevin. That's Brandon.
Eden.
We have another guest this week. I know that everybody was hoping I would say back by popular demand, one crazy-ass Ruben, but Ruben is not able to be with us this week because he's doing a job.
He's a working man.
Fried burritos ain't making themselves.
That's right. World famous, apparently.
This week, we'd like to welcome in a good friend of ours, and actually has a very big tie-in for the first of our three topics for the evening that has to do with our mead business. Bobo the Conqueror, Bobby Wheeler, whatever you want to call him.
Evening, folks.
So, Bobby, you're the guy that a lot of folks are donors, as we like to call them, the folks contributing to our cause of metal, ended up picking up a bottle last summer called Green Man. And you were the guy that ended up doing the artwork for that. Now, granted, I had some inspirational stuff that
we had an outline for what we wanted.
Our partner Brett sent us down like some photos, and he's like, "Hey, here's something to, maybe spark the creativity." Unfortunately, Brandon and I are not artists in that regard.
No, we know what we want. We just can't produce it.
So we ended up kind of imposing on Bobby, saying, "Hey, man, could you do us a label? We want it to be something that kind of looks really like woodsy, like kind of earthy, but yet with a human kind of a feature to it." And cranked out Green Man.
And a bit of a local flair as well.
Yeah, with a little Z on there. Good job on that, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How'd you come about putting that together?
Well, you had sent me the photos that Brett had sent you down, and just sat down and started doodling around, just like you would do if you're taking notes in Doc Elder's history class. And,
a guy we'll have on in a few weeks, by the way.
Yeah. And it just kind of came out. I didn't want to make it look exactly like what you guys had sent me because, I try not to be too overly legal.
Well, that's
there was some copyright stuff, but I wanted it to be my own.
And we wanted it to have your own personal flair to it as well. Wanted to be like, hey, this is Bobby Wheeler's work.
Well, and
you can really tell from Green Man to Holly King that we got the same guy.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Has anybody ever told you, dude, you can do some creepy faces really well?
Yeah.
Well, when you draw with your eyes closed, it helps.
Draw with your eyes closed. You're that afraid of it?
Yeah.
No, the Holly King, yeah, and Bobby did the Holly King. I think those are the main two that we've got. He's also helped on some decorations here at the meadery, but Holly King worked out really, really well because, again, we were looking for something out of folklore. And you knocked it out of the park. It was like
absolutely
an old crotchety-looking guy, but yet with like kind of leaves for or holly leaves for hair or whatever the case might be.
It's Gandalf's drunken uncle.
Not bad.
That's kind of my thought. And to be bluntly honest, I love to draw and love to do art stuff, but I really have never been good and never truly enjoyed drawing people or people at a distance, maybe, but not faces and not portraits. I couldn't sit down on the corner and make money doing portraits unless I was at like a Comic-Con or a horror fest. Then I'd probably break in some cash, but I'm not a people person, so just have to give you what I can do on that, and it seems like it works.
So what you're saying is the dick pics on Post-it notes probably not your next line of work.
No.
Can I follow you on Instagram, Bobby? Do you have one?
You have to be 35 to follow.
Well, I'm fucking 35, bitch, so give me that address.
I'll give you a free month, baby.
Oh, that's my free birthday, bitch.
But anyway, Bobby, we're glad you joined us here on this podcast of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast.
Fucking A, man. I'm digging having a third,
I think it works out all right because, frankly, we're a little weird on our own, so somebody that's kind of a moderating factor.
Yeah, someone to bounce ideas off of.
I am your moderator. Please be seated.
This is that might be a dangerous episode coming up. Anyway, so Mead, here's the update for this week. We got nothing in production.
Not true. We have tasted the test batch of the vanilla and orange,
which I actually, by the way, figured out what we're going to do, utilizing the same honey. Because I thought it'd be cost prohibitive. As it turns out, I have a line on this Texas honey.
I don't think we should say what the honey is because that's kind of like a secret weapon. I think.
Right,
unassuming secret weapon.
It is out of Texas, so we're happy with that because that means it's going to be semi-locally sourced.
Pseudo-local, yeah.
That one, and we're utilizing with the same yeast strain that we've always done out of Canada, by way of Denmark, and the water is going to be the same. It's Portalis water. Those are the three components that ended up making a batch of straight mead. For those of you that are thinking about making some in your basement or whatever the case might be,
It's fun.
That's it. It's honey, yeast, and water. Those are the only 3 components you need. That's what all that's in our batch 1. Now, the trick is using the right ingredients for the right batch.
Indeed. We've learned what happens when you use honey that's kind of subpar.
That Mexican honey, we'll never live that one
Yeah,
down,
I
probably,
mean,
for a while.
and rightfully so. We learned a lot from that batch.
So was
Yeah.
that batch called Montezuma's Revenge?
It was just called mistake number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, because even Scarborough had some redeeming qualities, even though it used the same honey.
Yeah.
Because what we threw, the herbal component really helped cover that up. But that just straight up batch 1 made out of it, not very good.
No, it was kind of a waste. But anyway, so those are the 3 components. Now, that's off of this batch. I've already got a name in mind. I'm not going to reveal it here. We'll wait until we actually have the full batch underway before I start really putting it out there. But it's Brandon likes to call it the Dreamsicle batch.
Well, it's because, well, I mean, that's kind of the thing you get off the ice cream truck when you want the orange vanilla popsicle.
And
That's
see,
it.
I think if you play the ice cream music, the music from the ice cream truck while you're drinking it, it will probably have a very better taste.
I don't know.
It becomes really creepy.
Yeah, you might have the cops driving by your house.
So anyway, we're going to be working on that one. We're going to go full batch on that. God, I hope we have
Super
that.
excited about
I
it,
hope
by
we
the
have
way.
that underway in a week.
Absolutely.
So that's the Mead update for the week. For our donors out there, look, we've still got 3 of our big hitters out there with long ships, a little bit left. Not much, by the way.
I think we're down to half on Troublemaker.
Yeah, well, because well, here's the problem with Troublemaker. We tend to drink the shit out of that one ourselves.
Will not apologize for that either.
Batch 1, we've got quite a bit of that to go. So that's what we have that's actively out there. And like we might have a few scavenger
I think we
bottles.
have 1 bottle left of the Sacred Tree.
We might have one of Sacred Tree, probably 1 out there or 2 of Holly King.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's what we've got. So
Wow.
Which
You
is
guys
really
have
the
been selling,
biggest
man.
assortment we've had.
it's good to have inventory, but that inventory is going to go. You got to figure by the time that we even start this batch, even if it's within the next week, and the time component, because time makes all things better. I'm not talking about THYME. I'm talking about time, TIME, the one that kills every one of us. Also is great for Mead. So we're looking at June at the earliest finish date on that batch. So
We might get something going in the duration because we can get more than 1 batch underway that might be ready before that, but we really would have no idea as of right now as what that would be.
They'd be rushed batches.
Yeah. I mean, if
I'd be okay with doing a rush batch, like a coffee batch or something like that, like something that's going to be really strongly flavored,
Right.
where really we don't need that time component as much to get it out there.
right,
We could
like
turn that in around
a 3-month
60
batch,
days.
yeah.
60 actually,
sick.
probably
yeah.
3 would be best, but we could do it in 60. I mean that'd be the fastest turnaround
Right.
we could do. I think we've done that before once. It doesn't help. It doesn't help the product.
No.
All right, that's the Mead update for this week. Metal.
Well, Bobby, what have you been listening to lately, man?
Probably elevator music. That's probably about it.
That sounds so lame.
Yeah, I have a very lame existence at this point, but no, I haven't really, honestly, to be bluntly honest, I haven't kept up with metal much. So
You live in Lubbock, Texas, and I have a big problem with Lubbock, Texas.
Here comes the story. See, every
Tell me
week
about it.
everybody's
Well,
like,
we have
let's
someone
share.
from Lubbock here, and I'd like to address the problem I have. Are you familiar at all with 94.5 FMX?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, they play like Five Finger Death Punch,
Right.
fucking Volbeat and that shit.
Death Cap for Cutie.
Oh, okay. So, and you notice that whenever you hear about a rock show coming to Lubbock, it can be, I can guess what it is out of 5 bands. In this moment, hell yeah, Five Finger Death Punch, Volbeat, or another one. I'm going to go 4.
4 up.
4, but still, those are 4 bands that play Lubbock all the fucking time. I call it Lubbock Metal.
Once upon a time, 3 Doors Down was that way. You could count on them like 4 times, 5 times a year.
Yeah, but it's just like when they say like super huge concert announcement, it's going to be one of those 4 bands. Unless it's fucking Blink 182, 2/3 of Blink,
Which is
182.
coming up.
coming up,
See,
yeah.
I'm getting kind of
But
excited about that.
I refuse to talk about that because that's not metal.
No, it's not metal. I am going to go to the April 21st show in Amarillo, so just so you know. Okay.
Are you really?
Probably, yeah.
Oh.
When am I ever going to see Blink 182
Well,
again?
it's 2/3 of them. It's without that dude that has the
Yeah.
really stupid voice.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but
I
I
can't
think,
remember his name. Tom
Okay.
DeLonge.
man, don't get me lying. I was never a huge 182 fan. But it'd be kind of cool to see him live.
Yeah. Well,
It's just all the small things. It's, that pun, I deserve an ass kicking.
Wow.
Everybody's like, kill that son of a bitch. And you're right.
Wow.
But, yeah.
I don't know if we can recover. This might be the final
Not
episode.
even
here.
metal humor.
The day the metal segment died.
Oh, crap.
What's that sound? What's that sound?
I was listening to a lot of Meshuggah today.
Welcome to the Mead and MMA podcast.
Motto's 2 out of 3 ain't bad, fellas.
All right. So the metal side, Sword. The Sword.
Yeah.
You got me to listen to that. That is the precursor. That's the proper point. If you're looking to get into doom metal, that's where your way in is, right? Well, outside of Black Sabbath, obviously.
Well, if you can find a doom metal band that's been around for more than 10 years, that's probably going to be one you can start out with safely.
So
and if you play Guitar Hero, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, that's probably when you first heard the Sword. Of course, I first heard him in Lubbock, the greatest city for live rock music ever.
Well, the problem that you have in Lubbock, and this is my opinion, and I've lived there for almost 10 years. We live in the West, and Lubbock, although the music was born there, Buddy Holly, the whole legend of all of that with rock and roll, the beginnings. Right now, that town is solely a Texas music town, to be bluntly honest. That's the market for that. Everybody and their dog with Texas music goes there.
You mean like country, right?
Country,
yeah.
Basically.
Independent country,
independent
songwriters
country,
and stuff, yeah.
You got your bands like that. They're in and out of there all the time. All of the big acts that play in that genre are in the Depot District all the time.
Right.
They got a Wild West there, and they play there also.
I've been to the Wild West.
Yeah. No, we've been there too. Friend of ours, Rob Baird, he's a singer-songwriter. He said he would never play there again.
Yeah,
I said, why is that? He said it has no soul. He said it's a cookie cutter. So.
Now, the Blue Light's a different story. It
Sure.
has a soul,
Right.
but
I've been to the gay bar across the street.
I have no doubt.
What was it? It's that Blue Heaven? What was it called?
I don't know. I've never been.
Well, it was because remember the man that was on our podcast a couple weeks ago, Ruben, got me to go to Lubbock with him to go see Metallica Through the Never, the concert movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
right. Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I want to go
I think it's just called
see
Heaven.
Metallica in IMAX. Yes. And he brought this like fat broad with him that I knew he was trying to get into her shorts.
Oh, this is going to go bad.
All right. And like, so we get there, we go see the movie. She's like drinking vodka straight out of a bottle all the way up there.
Fun.
I'm having a couple beers. I'm like, well, it's on Ruben. I don't give a fuck. This was back when I didn't give a shit. And
because that's changed now.
well, I now allow my decisions only to affect me instead of others.
Okay.
So we get out of Through the Never. We're like, cool. Let's get the fuck out of here and go back to Patalas. Oh, no, we got to go check out this concert first. I was like, oh, cool, concert. Who is it? Some DJ that does dubstep music, and it's going to be at that gay bar across the street from the Wild West.
It's called Heaven, I think.
Okay.
3.5 fucking hours there, man.
Are you shitting me?
And this is back when I weighed 3 1/4 and had a full beard.
So you're what they in the industry call a bear.
I was the supreme bear at the time.
Top hat.
Around a bunch of Texas Tech broads in their bras and panties with like wings on their backs doing mollies and all that other horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ambulance, no shit, got called 3 times while I was there.
Well, only you can prevent.
Well, that's why I love Lubbock. It does something to make me enjoy it, and then it does something to make me hate it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back on the Texas music side, it's a college town. It's a major college town, so all the kids are going to go there and listen to the in music of the time.
Sure.
It's the big radio station for that there is called the Red Dirt Rebel, which that's kind of the persona that music and that genre puts out.
Red
so
Dirt
everybody's
Rebel.
into it. So rock and metal doesn't really have it has a base there, but it's not huge. It's not the big in thing.
Yeah.
They have a really good club. I think it's called Freddy's or something like that in Lubbock that plays. That's where all the metal bands generally play. The week in, week out metal bands. Every once in a while they'll have a big show at the amphitheater where they have 3 or 4 or 5 bands playing.
That's where Blink-182 is playing in March in Lubbock, but I'll be at the Amarillo one. But yeah.
So that's probably what your problem is with Lubbock.
Other good stuff going on in metal, doom metal. I know that if you're a Pandora freak, I do know that the Pallbearers station, pretty much Thorns is the first one that rattles out of the box 3 times out of 4 times.
It should be.
Yeah.
God, that song just blows.
I'm waiting for the record because that one song.
Month and a half.
I know we're getting there. March is going to be a great month for doom metal. Mastodon
Absolutely.
comes out that month. I think we've already mentioned all this shit before, but
Yeah.
Mastodon
Still
comes
stoked
out.
about it, though.
Paul Bearer. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean we're any less enthused about it, but let's. We're already 15 minutes and we haven't even talked MMA, and we have a pay-per-view card.
Big
coming up
card tomorrow. Big card.
Now, how much do I care about much of the stuff on the undercard? About one fight.
Well, I'll say that main card, even including the main event, it's pretty good. It's not what would you call a stellar UFC New York card.
No.
Because I really hope they don't fucking burn out the whole new.
They will.
I think they're getting close to doing it already.
And they've got a UFC Buffalo coming up, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. Okay, that was the Buffalo one. They've already got Bronx.
They did one in
Brooklyn.
Albany.
They've got it, but I mean they've already got it on the schedule. I mean they're burning through New York pretty much an event every month and a half.
Ugh. I guess they'll just make the big ones when they're in New York City. Those will be the big ones.
Well, I'm actually okay with it. It actually feels right when they're actually in Las Vegas. Actually, if we got to get down to the brass tacks, I feel like that's almost a home event. Oh, it is a home event for UFC, and
Right.
love to see those fights there. But anyway, so this one's in UFC Buffalo. We'll talk about the main event. Do you want to talk about anything on the undercard? I mean, Ian McCall's finally got a fight.
Yeah, against the undefeated cat, making his debut.
Yeah, some dude with a great record.
We haven't seen Ian McCall fight in how long?
2015?
When he got his last fight announced at 201, I think, got canceled. Then I think it was 203, got canceled.
Yeah.
Then his last fight got canceled on his side because of illness. And then just now, Neil Seery backs out because his mother-in-law died.
Right.
I mean, for a job who really gives you bonuses based on how many times you fight, he's been shut down a lot.
And through
over the
no
past
actions of his
12
own.
months.
That's if you're trying to find a problem with the pay scale, what Reebok has set up with UFC, that's it. Ian McCall, veteran, this guy's trying to get a fight. I know he was on the card. He's supposed to be on the one when I was down in Austin, visiting my brother down there back in November.
Yeah.
And that one he lost.
Oh, the 205 card.
That was back in November. That was that was when Connor ended up beating Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, 205 card.
Was that 205?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, numerically, I tend to start losing a little bit of track there. But, yeah. So, I mean, I know at least going back to that, probably the fight before that. So here's a guy trying to get a fight, can't get one. 5 fights booked, 5 fights gone, and this guy doesn't have 5 fights to go toward the pay incentive from Reebok.
And it looks like he got an extra bump because since that heavyweight fight got scrapped, looks like the Ian McCall-Jared Brooks fight is bumped up to Fox Sports 1 instead of being on Fight Pass. It's going to open it.
Okay. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, that's really the only one on the undercard I really care about. And as a subscriber to Fight Pass, I might or might not have that fight on when it comes on the because how many they got? 2?
They got 2 now, yeah.
So maybe.
Hey, Bobby.
Yes, sir.
You how much UFC do you watch, brother?
When I'm here and you guys are watching it.
Indeed.
Not
So
gonna
basically
lie,
every time you're here.
I am not a huge follower. I'm not against it. It's just not something I follow.
Indeed. You're a casual fan.
Casual.
Dig.
At best, yes.
Dig.
That'd be
Well,
dressing it up a bit.
Why don't we run down the main card,
Okay.
UFC 208, and give you our official predictions.
Oh, and I've been doing a little bit of homework this week, by the way.
Yeah. Well, getting a boner to do randomay videos is not homework.
That's no, I can't attest to that because that's a man. Durandamy, right?
Yeah. She's fought men. She's fought dudes.
She is 48-0 in Muay Thai, and now granted, she's lost 3 fights in MMA. One of them in the UFC.
Right.
That was against who now holds the belt at 135.
Yeah.
With Amanda Nunes. But the thing is that the only time that she's ever lost is when she gets taken down.
Right.
Guess what Holly Holm is not going to do?
Indeed. Not take her down.
Holly Holm is a kickboxer and boxer, a great striker.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's going to be a strike fest.
Let's start with the fight to open the card. Poirier going up against Jim Miller.
Oh, man. I'm not a Miller fan. but I do recognize that his ground game is really good. Dustin Poirier, I have yet. Man, I know he's got a fan base, and God love him. God love him. I mean, every camouflage wearing one of them. But I think Jim Miller's going to get the better of him. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, Poirier seems to have recovered slightly well after that beating from Conor.
Yeah.
That was just kind of
wreck you for a year or
a
two.
sad state of circumstances for him, just having to fight McGregor when he's on a tear. I agree. I think Poirier is going to get a decision victory on this one.
That would be the way he would do it. It's not going to be by submission. Jim Miller's a little smart. I mean, the only person that really can beat Jim Miller, well, we saw Michael Chiesa do it, but
right.
Out of a weird Darce choke. But all right, let's move to the next one. I don't want to run out of gas here.
Coming up next, Glover Teixeira going against Jared Cannonier. I think that's right.
Teixeira is a guy. Here's the deal: the UFC and the new ownership, they're not dummies. They know they have to market fights to the Brazilian crowd. That's the second biggest fan base beyond the United States of America.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, Brazilians are crazy about the sport. If their fighters are doing well, they're on board. Guess what? Glover Teixeira's getting a fight against somebody on the main card I've never heard of.
Yeah, he's been around for a little bit. Lost to the mighty Sean Jordan, who I don't know is even around anymore.
I don't know.
And rattled off 2 wins against Asker and Kudalaba. So he's on a bit of a tear.
Yeah. So Teixeira's got.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to the vet.
It's a pick. It's a pick 'em for him. If he can step his game up, get the win here, then his career continues.
In a light heavyweight division that really is only awesome at the top.
Top 3.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we're finally getting, we'll talk about 210 another time.
Okay, yeah, sure, another day.
Coming up next
What do we have?
Jacare battling Tim Boach.
Oh, my God. Now, here's the whole thing. Every time Tim Boach is fighting, I pick against him. Every time.
Which, by the way, I got Glover by knockout in the second.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not that specific on that. But, no, Tim Boach is a guy that every time I pick against him, the guy who does nothing but win. And he wins, like, not just a little bit. He wins in horrific fashion.
When we were doing the UFC pick'em, whenever you didn't pick him, I would pick him.
Yeah, and you'd win every time. You'd get it right every time. But he is fighting Jacare. I don't know, man.
Monster.
Jacare, I thought he was, but he looked a little vulnerable his last fight out.
Well, that's when he beat shit out of Vitor.
Fight before that.
The fight when he fought. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's fine. It's neither here nor there. I think it's another Brazilian countryman. I think maybe, or somebody who's really good on the ground that actually really kind of put off all of his efforts. But here's the thing: if Jacare is able to get Tim Boach to the ground,
Joel.
Joel Romero. Yeah, no, he just beat his lights out. Well, so I think Jacare's got a great chance if it goes to the ground, but. Man, he's fighting Tim Boach. And Tim Boach, it's hard to pick against a guy that's on a streak, and that guy's on a streak.
Yeah. And
I like Boach by knockout at some point.
I don't know, man. I just cannot pick against Jacare. I mean, that's a guy that if he had beaten Yoel, he'd be fighting for the belt right now.
Maybe so.
He has a lot to lose fighting Boach.
If he can't take Boach down, that's going to be a long day.
Yeah. I'm going Jacare knockout in the first on that one.
That's fine.
I'm just doing it to be contrarian to you.
I know. I'm taking Tim Boach. You're picking the opposite side.
That's right. I'm trying. Well, I want to make it interesting. We got to have something on the table. Co-main event: the GOAT, Anderson Spider Silva, fighting Derek Brunson.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the guy that's not getting ready for an assisted living facility position.
Hey, man, Silva says he can fight another 6-7 years.
And he probably can. He probably can. In some promotions, not in the UFC.
Now, being successful, that's the other side. If you can be good at it.
I was going to say they probably don't have like the PGA Tour or the Senior Tour.
No, not really. So Silva's fighting who?
Derek Brunson.
I got Brunson. It's going to be a first. It's going to be bad. I think it's going to be bad.
If Brunson wins, it's going to be in the first round, and it's going to be a fight that needs to be stopped.
It's going to be bad. Yeah, I think
Brunson's going to swarm him. Oh,
I hope Big John is back or Tan Dan or whoever.
Yeah, have they announced the refs for that fight?
Not yet. I usually get the card from Herb Dean.
Right.
But,
we'll check that out later.
All right.
Yeah, Derek Brunson knockout in the first.
I think you already put me on the spot on the main event. We're coming back around to it, but yeah, Durandamy is that's a violent chick if she is indeed a chick.
Now you're going to be getting emails, motherfucker.
I know. We're going to get all this hate mail. Hey, man, there's
I'm only going to
22
get hate
figures.
mail from Lubbock. You're going to get hate mail from everybody else.
Yeah. No, she's dangerous. Everything about her is dangerous. Anything goes to clinch, she's going to have the advantage. Holly Holm.
How does she do in deep water? Like, how many 5-round fights she had in the UFC?
Not many. In the UFC? God, maybe a couple of second rounders.
I think that'll tell the tale. It'll be the tank.
Holly Holm actually lost because of the fact of her tank.
Yeah, her tank
took
did
her
not
down,
look
put
good in
her
her
to sleep.
last fight. Well, yeah. That
Fight before last.
Yeah.
She's
But
lost 2 now.
the way Holly Holm wins the fight is by outlasting her.
And that's the whole thing. She's got to outlast her, and she's got to outlast her at a distance.
Yeah.
I don't think that Van Randemy is going to take a distance approach.
I'm not even sure if she has an advantage on distance in that fight.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, Durandamy is pretty lanky, you know?
No,
being a Muay Thai.
she looks huge. And at 145, I mean, she's going to look even bigger than she ought to look like a monster at 135.
Yeah, she looked like a monster until Amanda Nunes mowed her down.
Yeah, no, but yeah, she doesn't have to worry about being taken down in this fight.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a striking battle for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I got Durandamy by decision. I think she's going to do enough.
Man, I've got
in the
her,
first
I got
3
her by a
rounds.
finish. It's somewhere
Think
about
she's
the
gonna
third,
finish?
probably about third, maybe fourth.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, probably not fourth. I think it'll finish before the championship rounds.
Yeah, if
Probably
it gets
third
into the 4th and 5th rounds, you're going to see Holly Holm kind of start to rebound.
I think so.
But I don't think it's going to be enough to put Durandamy out.
I don't know. Interesting picks. I'd like to know what you guys think. Put them down in the comments here on the YouTube page. We'd like to know what you think of that, as long as it's not negative.
Keep it positive, Internet. Come on now.
Come on, peace and love, folk.
Jeez.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you joining us this week. Bobby, thanks for being here, man. We'll look forward to another label from you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We'll
Thank
put you
for
to
having
work
me.
in that sweat lodge soon enough, my friend.
And then we'll kick over our operations to a bunch of children over in Indonesia, and we'll get
I thought you were going to say Chilean people.
Chilean people. We'll get it all underway. Actually, that's it for the podcast this week. But again, thanks for joining us. We'll try to do better next time around. And what do we have as a closing word, Brandon?
Enjoy 208.